Welcome, deep divers. Imagine for a moment you're in, say, the quiet hum of a local library. Usually a place of peace, right? Whispered conversations.
Yeah, totally. Books, quiet corners.
But then picture overhearing something. Not an academic debate, but a chilling whispered plot.
Okay.
A plot to kidnap a child. And get this, there's this weirdly specific detail, like the smell of horse manure on the guys planning it.
Horse manure. Wow. Okay, that's specific.
Right. And then add to that the sort of crushing realization that the very systems meant to stop this stuff, the town guards, school security, even the town hall, they're just hopelessly broken.
So the safety net's got huge holes in it.
Exactly. That precisely is where our deep dive begins today.
So we're really plunging into a fascinating collection of source material today shared by one of our listeners. It's a whole series of interconnected accounts sort of chronicling this brewing crisis in a town called Wildwood. Yeah. We've got personal journal entries from someone named Rose, bits of dialogue she recorded or remembered, and just these really keen observations. It paints such a vivid picture of this community grappling with, well, first an urgent threat, then these really surprising bureaucratic hurdles. And kind of woven through it all, the evolving dynamics of personal relationships. It's quite a mix.
So our mission for you listening is to really meticulously unpack these sources. We want to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights.
Yeah, show how something that starts as a straightforward crime report actually unveils all these complex layers.
Right, like civic responsibility or the lack of it, maybe systemic failures, definitely, but also that intricate web of human connections.
And interestingly, where help actually comes from when the usual channels, the official ones, just prove completely useless.
So you get a deeper understanding of the challenges ordinary people face when they try to navigate these official systems, and how sometimes, a strong, maybe slightly unconventional community, that becomes the real first line of defense.
Maybe the only line of defense in some cases.
Could be. Okay, let's dive into Wildwood.
All right, so our story really kicks off with this unsettling discovery. And it all comes down to the incredibly sharp ears of a young child.
Right. The catalyst here is Daisy. She's spending time at the library, which, you think of as this safe refuge place of stories.
Yeah.
And she accidentally overhears this crucial, frankly, terrifying conversation.
Wow. And this info then gets to our main character, Rose.
Yeah.
Relayed by someone named Doug.
Exactly. Talk about being in the right place, or maybe the profoundly wrong place at exactly the critical moment.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's immediately striking, I think, is how almost accidental this initial intelligence. It wasn't like a formal investigation or anything.
Oh, tip-off line, yeah.
No. Daisy just overhears four men talking at a reading desk. Their voices are low, but she catches enough. They're explicitly plotting to kidnap a child.
Chilling.
And they refer to the child really impersonally, just as Brat.
Brat. That's cold. What does that even imply? Well, that's the question, isn't it? Does it mean like a ransom thing? Maybe the kid's from a wealthy family? Or is it something more personal, maybe vindictive? We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
The target location is specified, though. The Pinewood Academy. We'll learn more about that place soon.
Pinewood Academy, got it.
And the timing. Just urgent. Sometime soon, possibly very soon.
Oh, that's the worst kind of vague, isn't it? Urgent, but no specifics.
Exactly. It creates this immediate, pervasive sense of dread. It's critically time-sensitive,
Yeah.
but there's no clear window for anyone to actually intervene effectively. It's almost this perfect, chilling paradox.
Just enough detail to make you believe it, but not enough to really act on easily.
Precisely. It's like a blueprint for how crucial warnings can just slip through the cracks.
And the details Daisy picks up about these guys, they're surprisingly vivid for a kid, right?
They really are. She describes them as four ordinary workmen, all dressed like day laborers.
Okay, so blending in. Unremarkable.
Which is, of course, a super effective disguise. If you're planning something bad, they wouldn't get a second glance in a busy library.
Makes sense.
But then, and this is where it gets really interesting, you get to the accents.
Ah, the accents, yeah.
Three of them sounded like locals, Wildwood natives. But the fourth, he spoke with a proper King's English accent.
Whoa. Okay, that stands out.
Yeah, Daisy notes it seemed odd given his work clothes.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic little incongruity. What does that immediately suggest to you?
Well, straight away, maybe he's the leader. Or definitely not from around here. Someone trying to blend in but failing slightly.
Exactly. It's a key detail.
Yeah.
That contrast strongly implies, maybe, a hierarchy within the group. This guy with a posh accent might be the boss, someone of higher standing, or, like you said, an outsider trying to fit in. but his speech gives him away.
Suggests maybe more organization than just four random guys.
Could be. Maybe even external influence. It elevates the threat beyond just a local issue. And then there's that almost visceral detail you mentioned.
The horse manure.
Yeah. When Rose prompts her, Daisy remembers that distinct smell. Horse manure. That's not just random sensory stuff. It's a specific, tangible clue.
Leads right to the thought, maybe they work in a stable.
Exactly. It gives them a tangible, if subtle, lead. A possible occupation, maybe a location to check out.
It really highlights how easy it is to just dismiss background noise, doesn't it?
Totally. It challenges all of us, to think about how important just paying attention is.
Yeah.
Listening closely, even small things that seem irrelevant like an accent or a smell, they can be vital clues.
You never know what you might pick up if you're really tuned in.
For sure.
So Rose is reeling from this, obviously. And naturally, she turns to someone she trusts, someone right there in the library who sees people coming and going all day. Eldara, the librarian.
You'd hope right. A
Yeah.
librarian, they see everything. Maybe she noticed these guys.
Yeah, you'd think.
Unfortunately, Eldara's response immediately shows how hard it is to pick out ordinary people in a busy place. Despite being observant, she just doesn't recall seeing this specific group.
Ugh. So they blended in too well.
Seems like it. Or maybe it was just a busy day. It's a sobering reminder, isn't it? Even the most vigilant person can miss something vital when it's disguised as just normal life.
But Eldara, she's not just sitting back. Amidst this worrying news, she shares a little success of her own. Something about intercepting cooking lovers.
Yeah. It's such a great detail. She apparently managed to head off some couple who were getting maybe a bit too culinary in the library stacks.
Seriously.
Apparently. And she says they won't be returning, except to maybe borrow the Kama Sutra.
Oh my God. In a library, that injects this wonderfully absurd slice of Wildwood life into the tension, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It reminds you that even with a potential kidnapping plot brewing, the everyday quirky dramas of a town just keep happening. Sometimes hilariously so.
And she also reminds Rose about the book club meeting.
Yeah, quite practically. Just a normal reminder about a social gathering that, they have no idea is about to become way more significant later on.
It's almost jarring, that contrast. This huge threat, and then cooking lovers and book clubs.
It is. But it grounds the story, I think. It shows Wildwood is a real place, with all its eccentricities. Eldara not being able to help with the ID reinforces how elusive the suspects are, but mentioning the book club, it shows the community trying to maintain normalcy, trying to connect. It sets the stage perfectly for what comes next.
That Kama Sutra detail, though, it adds so much character. Keeps it from being totally grim.
Definitely gives you a feel for the place.
Okay, so Rose has this terrifying information. She can't reach the burgomaster, the town leader, so her first instinct, go to the officials. The town's gate guards.
Makes sense. Bob and Mike's coworkers, people who are supposed to be about security.
Right, but what happens next is, well, it's not just frustrating, it's almost darkly funny in how absurd it is. Bureaucracy at its worst, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating how quickly the official system just shows its complete disconnect from reality. Rose runs into two guards, Dogberry and his assistant Verges.
Dogberry and Verges? Wait, weren't those names from Shakespeare? Much Ado About Nothing.
Exactly. It's a pretty clear signal from the storyteller, isn't it? Setting you up for some comically inept authority figures.
Okay, so right away, we know this might not go well.
Doesn't it just? And Dogberry, true to form, immediately starts categorizing. He asks Rose, "What kind of gate crime do you wish to report, ma'am?"
Gate crime. Seriously.
Yep. His focus, with this incredible rigidity, is only on crimes at the gate. Not, the potential kidnapping happening inside the town.
Though for goodness sake, that's astonishing.
It really is. This absolute adherence to the literal job description. It's terrifying when you think about the implications.
It gets worse, doesn't it? They refuse to leave the gate.
Point blank. Says it would be a deletion of duty. That's the phrase he uses. Deletion.
Deletion of duty, wow.
And Dogberry actually boasts, with a straight face apparently, that he and Verges are the two best night gate guards in Wildwood. And he says, "We'll never leave the gate, ma'am. You can rely on that."
Oh, I bet you can rely on that. Just,
Yeah.
wow. Their interpretation is just spectacularly unhelpful.
Completely misses the point. They're worried about whether the kidnappers might use their gate or if the little girl is allowed through the gate, not, stopping the kidnapping.
And Verges adds his own little complaint.
Oh, yeah. Verges pipes up, lamenting that he can't even go relieve himself until the next guards, Bob and Mike, show up, just hammering home their unwavering, if totally misplaced, commitment to staying put.
It's beyond belief. A masterclass in missing the point.
It truly is. This whole encounter, it's this powerful, darkly funny, but also deeply unsettling critique of that kind of rigid bureaucracy, that unthinking adherence to rules.
Procedure over purpose.
Exactly. Can't see the forest for the trees. Their specific job description completely overrides the urgent moral need to prevent a serious crime against a kid. It's classic bureaucratic blindness.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we hit similar walls? Systems meant to help just become roadblocks because the rules are too inflexible.
All the time. That frustrating disconnect between policy and practical need. It's a stark reminder of how the very structures meant to protect us can sometimes become the biggest obstacles.
So, faced with completely useless guards, Rose doesn't give up. She's frustrated, sure, but she tries the next logical step. Warn the Pinewood Academy directly.
Right. You'd expect a school, especially one that seems kind of fancy, to be all over a potential threat to a student, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so. Urgently responsive, even.
Well, according to the source material, it's the exact opposite. Rose gets there and sees the place is guarded like the king's palace. Imposing brick walls, 2 stern guards at the entrance.
Okay, so it looks secure, high-end, private maybe.
Seems like it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably caters to wealthy families who want that appearance of safety.
Yeah.
But that fortress-like exterior seems to create this internal vacuum of responsibility.
How so?
She's immediately denied entry. Why? Because she's not a parent of a current student and she doesn't have an appointment.
An appointment to report a potential kidnapping.
Yep. And even when Rose clearly states a crime is likely to be committed against one of your students, the older lady in charge just brushes her off, completely dismissive.
No.
Gives her an appointment for next Tuesday, 8 a.m. sharp.
Next Tuesday? Are you kidding me?
And her reasoning. It's infuriating. Well, you should come sooner to make an appointment.
Oh, I'd be burning with rage. That's unbelievable indifference.
And Rose was burning with rage, according to the notes. Then, to just add insult to injury, this official insists, we care deeply about our students' safety. No student has ever been injured on school grounds aside from the minor sporting injury.
Sporting injury? She's talking about scraped knees when Rose is warning about a kidnapping.
Exactly, focusing entirely on internal stuff, bumps and bruises on the playground, while completely ignoring a massive external threat.
Wow. That is deeply unsettling.
It is. That extreme external security, but paired with this dismissive, almost hostile attitude towards a credible, urgent threat.
Mm.
It points to a really profound institutional problem. It feels like more than just incompetence.
Yeah, it feels off, like a dangerous kind of insularity, maybe arrogance.
That's a good way to put it. This hyper-focus on internal incidents completely blinds them. Why is it so hard to get vital, life-saving information to the people in charge there?
Their definition of student safety seems dangerously narrow. Only what happens on school grounds matters.
Right. It reveals this critical flaw in their whole security thinking.
Yeah.
This bizarre, almost hostile response. It immediately raises a huge red flag for the listener, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It screams something dodgy going on at Pinewood Academy.
Yeah. Could it be an inside job? Maybe someone there knows or is willfully ignorant?
Mhm.
Or is the school just this bastion of extreme privilege and incompetence where they're so insulated they actually make their students less safe by ignoring warnings?
The very place meant to protect them might be putting them in more danger through its own arrogance. Chilling.
Deeply chilling.
So the gate guards are useless. The academy is worse than useless, actively obstructive. Rose has basically hit a brick wall with every official channel.
Pretty much.
So her final, maybe desperate attempt, back to Burgomaster Valen's office. And this time, she actually uncovers the real root cause of all this dysfunction.
This is a huge turning point, yeah. It explains so much. And Rose, having learned from being shut down before, she gets clever.
How so?
She uses her status. She announces herself as Rose the Bibliomancer.
Yeah.
You know, this expert known for solving tricky problems, including a ghost issue Valen had at the library, apparently.
Ah, so she has some leverage.
Exactly. And she adds this veiled but pretty potent threat. I can just bring the ghost here to town hall.
Huh. Okay, playing their game a bit. Good for her.
It works. She gets past the gatekeeper. Valen himself is out, but his nervous assistant spills the beans, reveals the shocking, devastating truth.
Which is?
There was no money in the budget for guards.
No money at all.
Basically none. There were only 4 guards left that guard the gate, and they also charge admittance to merchants, generating the income to pay their salaries.
Wow. So the only guards are the 4 gate guards, and their job is basically collecting tolls to pay themselves.
That's the size of it. It's not just individual incompetence or rigid rules. It's a deep-seated systemic failure, a financial and political crisis.
And the assistant explains why this happened.
Yeah, apparently Burgomaster Vellon was strongly against the proposal, but the town council overrode his veto.
Ah, so political infighting. The council cut the budget over the burgomaster's objections.
Bingo. That's the aha moment. It clarifies everything. The useless gate guards, the lack of any town patrol, it all stems from this. The town council's penny-pinching decision directly led to the collapse of public safety.
Adds a whole layer of political intrigue, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows the devastating real-world impact of these kinds of short-sighted civic decisions. It's a perfect illustration for you, the listener, of how budget cuts, even if they seem economically sensible to some, can have profound, far-reaching, and sometimes catastrophic consequences for public services and safety.
Makes you think about the unseen impacts of those kinds of decisions, the tension between saving money and keeping people safe.
Exactly. It's not just one bad guard or one dodgy school. It's a broken system, starved of resources from the top down, leaving everyone vulnerable. Knowing this really deepens our understanding of the struggle Rose is facing. She's not just fighting criminals, she's fighting a failing system.
Okay, so the official systems are a total bust. Rose knows why now, but that doesn't really help stop a kidnapping. She's carrying this huge weight, feeling frustrated. So she seeks out someone she trusts for guidance. Sparky, Grandmaster Bright Spark at the bookstore.
Right, and Grandmaster sounds like a significant title in Wildwood, someone with real wisdom and influence. Rose arrives just overflowing with frustration, completely wrung out from trying to do the right thing.
You can just picture her, right? Ready to vent.
Totally. And she does. She lays it all out for Sparky. Did you know that this town has no guard? None. The 4 guards they do have aren't allowed to leave the gate. She tells him about something dodgy going on at that Pinewood Academy. It's just this complete outpouring of disbelief and injustice.
She's desperate for someone to understand, maybe offer a solution.
But Sparky's reaction is unexpected, almost jarring. He tells her quite directly, well, don't you get involved, Rose.
Wait, what? Don't get involved. After everything she just found out.
Exactly. He urges her to focus on her own work, her creative work. He points out, maybe a bit pointedly, you haven't written anything since you moved to Wildwood.
Ouch. Okay.
And he gives her homework. Tells her to make an outline for what you're planning to write next by the end of the week.
Wow. That's not the heroic pep talk I was expecting. Creates some serious tension, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Sparky represents this voice of, maybe, caution, artistic discipline. He's pulling her back to her personal responsibilities, her professional duties as a bibliomancer, whatever that fully entails.
So it sets up this huge internal conflict for Rose, her own work, her creative calling, versus this urgent need for someone, anyone, to step up and act.
Precisely. Personal mission versus civic duty. And Rose's struggle is so real. She tries to write, but she's completely blocked. Her mind is racing.
What's she thinking about writing?
Well, her thoughts are all over the place. First, this angry diatribe about the stupid, short-sighted, penny-pinching town council, clearly just venting her rage onto the page.
Can't blame her there.
Not at all. Then her mind swings to something totally different. A romance set in the human world. Specifically, hockey romances.
Hockey romances. Does she even know anything about hockey?
Nope. She admits she knows absolutely nothing about it. It just shows how scattered and exhausted her mind is. She finally concludes, I can't think of anything.
That creative block is just a mirror of her feeling overwhelmed by the whole situation. Even a bibliomancer struggles under that kind of pressure.
It makes her very relatable, I think, that feeling of being paralyzed by stress and injustice.
So while Rose is wrestling with her writer's block and Sparky's stay out of it order, Lou steps up. Always the practical one, right?
Always. Lou provides immediate practical support. She decides, okay, if the officials won't look, we will. She embarks on an immediate search for the kidnappers.
Now that's a contrast to the bureaucracy we saw earlier.
Isn't it just? It's decisive action. And she puts together this amazing little search team. She takes Doug, who, get this, has shrunk himself down to be tiny.
Whoa, okay, that's useful.
Right. And Daisy, using her memory to spot the guys. Plus, Lou's own heightened senses, her tracking abilities, this unconventional team using their unique talents.
And Rose sends them off with a good hunting. Recognizing maybe that this is the new reality. It's up to them now, not the guards.
Exactly. It's a shift from relying on the broken system to leveraging personal initiative and community strengths.
Hmm.
A great example of adaptive problem solving.
But do they find them right away?
Unfortunately, no.
Right.
The initial sweep doesn't work out. Lou comes back and has to report, "No, I'm sorry, Rose, we had a couple of false alarms."
Oh, man. Close calls.
Yeah, Daisy thought she recognized some guys, but they turned out to be wrong. Mistaken identities. Lou, always thinking, speculates maybe the men were working somewhere else that day. Or maybe they don't even live in Wildwood. Maybe they just came into town to do the planning.
Okay, so disappointing, but it still tells them something, narrows it down a bit.
Exactly. Even the lack of success provides information. It pushes them towards refining their search. And Lou's proactive approach, her team's efforts, it's such a stark contrast to the official inaction. Even without catching them immediately, they demonstrated the value of taking matters into their own hands when the system fails. They know the kidnappers aren't just hanging around town square, at least.
So just when you think maybe no official help is coming, Burgomaster Valen himself shows up at the bookstore.
Right. His assistant must have told him Rose stopped by and what she knows. He comes directly to her and basically pleads for her help.
A direct appeal from the town leader. That's got to be a big moment for Rose.
Huge. And it really highlights Valen as this well-meaning guy who's completely hamstrung politically. He's trying to work around the mess the council created.
Does he admit how bad things are?
Oh, yeah. He's totally upfront. Acknowledges the town's dire situation, flat out says there are no guards to take the information I'd already gathered. He confirms everything Rose found out. No denial, just desperation.
So what does he want Rose to do, since there are no guards?
Oh, well, this is where it gets kind of absurd again, honestly. In this move born of sheer desperation, he proposes a solution. He offers to take Dogberry, yes, that Dogberry, the useless gate guard off the night gate, to accompany you.
Dogberry, the guy who wouldn't leave the gate, he wants him to help Rose investigate.
That's the offer. His reasoning. It would give Rose an official cachet if she could identify one or two of the suspects with Dogberry present.
Official cachet, like Dogberry's presence makes it official somehow, even though he's useless. That's almost comical.
It really is. You have to wonder about Valen's thinking there. But it just underscores how desperate he is. His real goal, the political goal, is to use any identified suspects, plus Dogberry being there, as leverage.
Leverage for what?
To bring Dogberry before the council and force them to deal with the problem. He wants to use this whole situation and Dogberry's involvement to basically shame the council into acting.
Ah, okay. So it's a political play, using Rose and Dogberry as pawns to fix the budget issue.
Seems like it. Though, to be fair, he does express genuine empathy. He talks about the poor child terrorized and the agony of the parents. But yeah, his solution is definitely a political maneuver, trying to make a dysfunctional system work by using its most incompetent part. It's a leader making these weird farcical compromises because his hands are tied.
So what does this mean for Rose? She's got Sparky telling her stay out, and now the Burgomaster begging her get involved but take Dogberry. What a choice.
Exactly. She is completely torn. She remembers Sparky's instruction, not get involved. But Valen's plea is so desperate, so she compromises, sort of. She agrees to speak to Grandmaster Brightspark tomorrow morning.
Buys herself some time, but basically promises Valen she'll try.
Yeah, she knows she's basically promised to try and change Sparky's mind. And if she succeeds, she might be investigating a kidnapping plot with, as she thinks, possibly the worst guard in the history of guards.
Talk about an ethical dilemma. Sparky's orders versus the Tan leader's plea. Personal work versus civic duty, with a side order of absurdity.
It perfectly captures it. It shows how good intentions in these broken systems can lead to these really strange, almost comical solutions. And for you, the listeners, this powerful example of leaders being hamstrung by politics, making these weird compromises. What risks do people take when the formal systems just completely fail? Is a symbolic, official cachet worth teaming up with Dogberry?
Rose is really at a crossroads now, isn't she? Her personal path, her civic duty, they're colliding head-on.
Big time. Her choices now are really going to define her role in whatever happens next in Wildwood.
Okay, so amidst all this tension, the useless guards, the dodgy school, Sparky's warning, Valen's weird offer, the planned book club party actually goes ahead.
Yeah, it gathers Rose's really diverse and, as we'll see, incredibly capable circle of friends. What starts as just a social thing quickly feels like it's becoming, well, almost a strategic meeting. a command center maybe.
Where all the threads start coming together.
Exactly. And it's fascinating just seeing who shows up, the dynamics.
Yeah.
Juliet and Ivy arrive first. Ivy's totally amazed by Rose's place, which sounds pretty unique, maybe magical. And she keeps calling Rose ma'am, which apparently embarrasses Rose, but sounds kind of charming.
Nice little character detail.
Totally. Then Lily and Salome arrive with Eldara. These are magical practitioners, remember, bringing their own skills. Then the two Paulists show up, Talbert and Paula Becker. And it's this great little moment where Becker just effortlessly takes this heavy case of wine from Talbert, who's struggling, immediately shows Becker is strong, competent.
Sets her up.
Yeah. And apparently, Rose and Salome share this subtle look, a bit disappointed that someone named McCracken isn't with Becker, hinting at some past relationship drama or connection there. It feels like a real established group with history.
And the setting itself sounds amazing. The library annex.
Yeah, guests are admiring it. They find out the massive book collection belongs to Sparky. And they discover Doug, the guy who shrunk himself earlier, can magically make copies of any book, even rare first editions. That gets popular fast, as you can imagine.
I bet. Free rare books. Sign me up.
Right. And even the dining table magically changes shape from rectangular to round, so all 11 guests can sit together comfortably. It's this wonderful blend of the everyday party and the subtly magical.
Creates a unique atmosphere for what happens next.
Absolutely. Because Eldara, ever practical, brings it up. She asks Rose straight out if she could do anything about the kidnapping. And Rose, seeing this room full of capable, trustworthy friends, she tells them everything.
The whole story, the plot she heard, the useless guards.
Yep. The useless guards, and Lily immediately pipes up, confirming it's Dogberry. Everyone seems to know him. Then the dodgy Pinewood Academy. And finally, Valen's desperate offer involving Dogberry. She lays it all bare.
And how does the group react?
This is where the community just shines. Paula Becker, the strong one, the one hinted to have a past involving, let's say, complex acquisitions.
Like that museum heist mentioned before.
Exactly. She immediately volunteers. No hesitation. She just says, I'll break in there, Rose. It should be a piece of cake after that museum heist.
Whoa. Just like that. Break into the fortress-like academy.
Just like that. Her reasons. Partly to pay you back for the kindness Rose showed her, but also, quite frankly, because she's been bored stiff since their last adventure.
Huh. Boredom as a motivator for breaking and entering. Okay, that's a game changer for Rose, surely.
Huge. Though Rose is hesitant at first. She says, I couldn't ask you to do that, and apparently thinks I so did not want her to. Maybe worried about the risk, or maybe Sparky's warning is still echoing.
Yeah, could be.
But Lou, ever the calm facilitator, smooths it over, confirms Becker's staying for a few days anyway, and says gently, of course we want you too. And that seems to seal it. Rose reluctantly accepts.
Wow. So this book club party wasn't just social. It turned into a council of war, basically.
Totally. It highlights the incredible strength and the diverse talents in Rose's circle. When the official systems completely fail, and boy did they fail, this strong network of friends becomes the real solution.
Becker's offer. It's direct, competent, yeah, okay, illicit, but it's an actual answer to the school's stonewalling. A huge contrast to Dogberry.
Night and day. And it shows the power of personal initiative, even if it means bending or breaking the rules. Those little magical details, Doug's copying, the table, they just add to the sense that Rose's world, her community, operates a bit differently and maybe more effectively.
So to kind of back up Becker's claim that breaking into the academy would be a piece of cake, Salome gets her to talk about that previous heist, the one in Mexico City.
Yeah, Salome insists. And it's not just a fun party story, though it clearly is entertaining. It serves a real narrative purpose.
How so?
Well, firstly, it absolutely solidifies Becker's reputation. She describes this museum heist in minute detail, painting this picture of a super daring infiltration. High security, the works.
Okay, so she's got cred.
Big time. And she explains how she used each baked good that Salome and Lily had provided. These weren't just snacks, they were magical tools.
Magical baked goods? Seriously? Like what?
She mentions Salome's ghost apple skin for the open sesame cookies. Apparently, these let her bypass electronic locks. Literally, open sesame cookies.
That is brilliant. I love it.
Isn't it great? And she mentions a ghost pie that she didn't even end up needing because, as she says, she ran out of guards to trick.
Ran out of guards to trick. Okay, she's definitely capable and maybe a little bit mischievous.
Seems that way. So this story, it integrates the magic really practically, shows how Salome and Lily contribute with their unique ingredients, and most importantly, it absolutely validates Becker's confidence about the school job. If she handled that, Pinewood Academy might genuinely be easy for her. It boosts everyone's confidence in the plan.
Okay, so after the thrilling heist story, the mood shifts a bit. There's a speech from Daisy.
Yeah, a really powerful, emotional moment. Doug acts as Daisy's voice again, you remember. The child who overheard the plot and who Rose helped find her voice. Daisy prepared a speech, and Doug delivers it for her.
The thank you speech.
Exactly. It feels like the emotional heart of the party, a real affirmation of what this community has achieved together. Through Doug, Daisy gives specific thanks.
Who does she thank?
She thanks Eldara, the librarian, really genuinely, for providing me with a safe and happy home for years, acknowledging that stability Eldara gave her.
That's lovely.
Then to Rose, she says, "Thank you for giving me a voice and the ability to choose where I live and who I associate with." That really hits home, right? Highlighting Rose's role and empowering her, giving her agency.
Absolutely. Giving her freedom.
And she thanks the two Paulas and Lou specifically for helping Rose procure the bone that granted my freedom, which sounds like a reference to a key artifact from a previous adventure, something crucial for Daisy.
Okay, so their past actions directly led to this moment.
Right. And then there's this charming, funny thank you to Doug himself and me for agreeing not to be a jerk if Rose would help Daisy.
Uh-huh. Acknowledging his own character arc. That's great.
Isn't it? And finally, she thanks Salome and Lily for providing the magical baked goods that made the heist a success, linking their skills directly back to the actions that helped secure her freedom.
Wow. That ties everything together so beautifully.
It really does. So you listening, it's just this touching, insightful moment about the huge difference a supportive, diverse community can make. Freedom, safety, agency. These are the tangible results of them working together. Daisy's voice. Even through Doug, it symbolizes her empowerment, her belonging. Just a really powerful moment.
So after that emotional peak, how do you follow it up? Book club business.
Naturally, Salome, maybe feeling the fellowship in the room, suggests that the next book should be The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, perfect. That fits the mood, doesn't it?
Totally. Salome even draws this playful parallel between their group and the 12 walkers in the book. She points out, with a smile, they only need one more member to match the fellowship.
Love it. And who does she cast as their wizard?
Rose, of course. She positions Rose as their very own bibliomancer wizard leading the way.
That's brilliant. It frames their real-world problems, like this kidnapping threat, as a kind of epic quest they're on together.
Exactly. It reinforces those deep bonds, that sense of shared purpose. And it acknowledges Rose's role as their intellectual, maybe magical guide, even when things are serious. Finding that joy and connection in stories and metaphors, it's important.
So the party starts winding down, people head off, and Rose is left with, well, a mix of feelings, it seems.
Yeah, it's not all just warm fuzzies and fellowship. The emotional reality is more complex.
Yeah.
Juliet and Ivy leave first. Ivy's full of thanks. And Juliet, grabbing a stack of those copied books for the town library, says something pretty significant to Rose. She says, "You've come a long way, Rose, from that girl who wanted to live vicariously through me. A long way."
Wow. That's a real marker of Rose's growth, isn't it? Acknowledged by someone who knew her before.
Huge. Then Eldara leaves, promising to keep an eye out for 4 men plotting together, reminding everyone the threat is still very real. Lily and Salome hang back lead, clearly enjoying the company, and they ask Rose to bring Becker over for breakfast, trying to integrate her more.
Building those connections.
Nice. But then Rose notices Lou and Becker have slipped off together, talking quietly, and she feels this big pang of jealousy.
Ah, okay. The green-eyed monster arrives. Very human, very relatable.
Isn't it? Even amidst all the community success, these personal insecurities pop up. And Talbert, as she's leaving, kind of adds fuel to the fire, but maybe unintentionally.
How so?
She tells Rose how she's jealous of Rose's real community, says her own character in her books would rather live in Rose's world. Then she drops this little nugget, and she says Becker's really impressed by Rose. Ever since she met you, you're all she talks about.
Ooh. Okay, so maybe Rose's jealousy is misplaced. Talbert's giving her a different perspective.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer. Is Becker admiring Rose?
Yeah.
Is Lucius facilitating that? Rose's insecurity is making her see one thing, but Talbert suggests something else entirely. It shows how complex these relationships are becoming.
So this sets up a potentially awkward but necessary conversation between Rose and Lou.
Absolutely. Rose, to her credit, decides she needs to be honest, address this feeling head on. She decides to confront Lou about the jealousy.
Good for her. That takes guts.
It really does. And what happens next is just perfect in a way. The emotional climax of Rose's personal story here. In this incredibly raw, vulnerable moment, they both decide to confess at the same time. They count 1, 2, 3.
And then both say it.
Both say, I'm jealous of you and Becker.
No way. They were both jealous of each other.
Isn't that amazing? That synchronicity just cuts through the tension immediately, shows they're actually on the same wavelength, despite Rose's fears.
So why were Lou and Becker always talking?
Lou explains it, with real affection. Yeah, it's true, we were always talking, but you know what we're talking about. You, question after question, all about you.
Oh, wow. So Becker was interested in Rose, and Lou was basically fielding questions. That completely flips Rose's insecurity.
Completely dismantles it. Rose, obviously relieved, apologizes immediately. I'm sorry, Lou, it's not that I don't trust you, I think it's just my insecurity. Total self-awareness there.
And Lou's response.
Lou offers this beautiful, genuine compliment. It's kind of explaining maybe why she wasn't jealous, echoing Talbert's comment. It's just, you deserve a woman as accomplished as Becker. Like, she sees Rose as someone worthy of this impressive person.
That's sweet, but also maybe reinforces the insecurity a bit, like Becker is better.
Maybe, but Rose's reply is just perfect, heartwarming and powerful. She says, Lou, I love you. As far as accomplishments go, you saved my life twice. Becker saved your country. You saved me. Besides, I'm still shipping Beckracken.
Beckracken. Ha! So she's still rooting for Becker and McCracken. And she puts Lou's actions saving her life above Becker's more public accomplishments. That's beautiful.
Isn't it? It's this incredibly relatable moment about relationships, the importance of communication, facing insecurity. It shows how easily we misinterpret things, but how honesty leads to deeper connection. Lou's compliment, Rose's counter.
Yeah.
It just cements their bond, their mutual respect, love and connection trumping external achievements.
That vulnerability, that resolution, it strengthens the relationship massively, right? Just before they have to face this external threat together.
Exactly. It sets this really strong emotional foundation for them as they move forward. A great reminder that even when you're fighting monsters or kidnappers or broken systems, nurturing your most important relationships is absolutely key. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow. We have really navigated a complex tapestry today, haven't we? Just tracing that thread from a whispered threat in a library.
Yeah, that terrifying discovery by a child.
All the way through a town's completely broken civic structure, the bureaucracy, the failures.
And then landing on the surprising strength of community and Rose's own really profound journey of personal growth and, well, relationship building too.
We've seen how just one single incident can basically rip the lid off deeper societal problems, but also how individuals, when they use their unique skills, their connections, they can step up and actually find solutions when the formal systems just completely fail.
Rose's journey really shows us that frustrating reality of bureaucratic walls and political constraints, but also, yeah, the inspiring power of these unconventional allies and the sheer resilience of genuine human connection.
This whole deep dive into Wildwood, it feels like a microcosm of challenges lots of communities face, right?
Totally. Balancing budgets versus essential services, navigating institutional indifference, and that undeniable need for people to just take initiative when the official channels let them down.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? When those systems that are supposed to protect us just crumble because of rules or budget cuts or what does guard even mean then? Right. Is it just the uniform, the official post, or does the real power, the real responsibility lie somewhere else, maybe with an engaged, diverse, sometimes maybe even a bit magical community?
This deep dive, it doesn't just leave us with the facts of the story. It leaves us with that profound question, I think. How do we as individuals, as communities, respond when the structures we rely on start showing those cracks?
Yeah.
Who do we really count on when things get tough?
What does it actually take for a community to become its own most effective, maybe sometimes its only line of defense? Something to definitely keep thinking about.
Until next time, keep diving deep.